Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here as the recording of this Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. Take a look at these beauties. Two skeletons. Relics of the past. Old payphones, right here. I have parked at a Disney parking lot over here on Catella and Harbor. I am not going to the parks today though. But I am going to walk around my old stomping grounds because I used to live right here on this very neighborhood, on these series of blocks. I'm going to reminisce a little bit, walk around, see some things, do some stuff, get some steps in. Not going to be entering into Disneyland or DCA today, but I will be going around the perimeter and a couple blocks away, and I will show where I used to live, right over here, before I moved to Celebration. Join me, shall you? Many days and evenings I walked this very path, leaving Disneyland, walking to my little apartment that I had over here. I went to this corner, to Hayster, take a right. So I guess you could say I lived in the Anaheim Resort District. They have the banners right up there. Oh yeah, bringing back some memories. Take a look at that truck going by. It's got a World of Color advertisement on the side of it. There's a couple different 7-Elevens. There's a 7-Eleven down on that end, which pre-2020 was said to be one of the busiest 7-Elevens in the US, I believe. And then there's this other one on the corner of Anaheim Boulevard. But I thought it was called Hayster. Either way. Catella. That's weird. Okay, Anaheim Boulevard's this way. Hayster's that way. But they always pump in music, very loud classical music over there to keep people from loitering. I think that's the reason they do the loud music at 7-Elevens. Alright, I was correct on that. So it does turn into Hayster over here. You've got Anaheim Boulevard, turns into Hayster. Right here on the corner over here where all these restaurants are. If you've ever seen Roadhouse, the Patrick Swayze movie, the very intro bar scene was right in there. Not the one he worked out later, but the very intro was right over there. They tore it all down though. The AM PM over here, well, extra mile, not an AM PM, extra mile, this gas station. I'd always fuel up there when I would go up. It's $4.69 a gallon right now, but I'd always fuel up there, you know, because this is my neighborhood, and I would go up to LA or just stay in this area. That's where I'd always get gas, all the time. Always saw lots of shenanigans on the corner over there where that bus stop is. Yeah. If you follow Gene Autry Way, about 3/4 of a mile that way, Angel Stadium. You go directly into Angel Stadium. And where I lived was just right over here. So I walked to a few Angels games, which was kind of nice. I drove my car too. I could be home in like 5 minutes via car. Parking spot to parking spot. Or if I walked, you know, 15-minute walk. I lived in this spot for about 3 years, give or take. 2 years before that, I lived in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard. Then I moved down here to Anaheim and had this spot for about 3 years. It's kind of confusing because so I just re-signed the lease in Celebration. In December would have been 2 years, but for 3/4 of a year, I did coast to coast, where I was here and in Florida. I uprooted from here, left here in November of 2021, so it's been like, I don't know, 13, 14 months, give or take. But I guess the last 3/4 of the last year I was here, I was hardly ever here. I was more in Florida. And even in that short time frame since I've been gone, they have replaced all of the wooden fences that were here. There was kind of like some old wooden fences. I put up some tiki fencing through here, some bamboo. I was over here in this corner. I had a pretty good view from the upper balcony looking over into DCA. In fact, I could see the Hollywood Tower and Now Guardians from my balcony. I could watch the fireworks. Well, when the fireworks were happening, you know, when 2020 happened, the fireworks stopped and the park was closed for a while. It almost feels like I'm going home. Right over here, this corner spot. There was the balcony right there, overlooking the parking lot. And then looking into DCA. Right there in this corner. Man, I almost just like want to pull my key out and go in. It's weird how the mind works and memories work. Well, that's it. Getting groceries into the house or moving anything in, like when I moved in and out, it was, you know, a little complex because I had a part was so far away. A parking spot was so far away from where the apartment was, so I'd have to like walk the food and items in, and when I moved in, I had to bring everything on a cart, piece by piece, because my garage was over here. I don't know, a few hundred yards away from the place. If you had a big item, trying to get through this little corridor with this fire hydrant here, it's kind of tough, I remember that. There it is, right there. That was my garage. And notoriously, there was always someone parked right here trying to load their groceries in. So when I would pull my vehicle in, if I'd go get something and come back, there was always someone parked here and they were never in their car. So I had to be patient and wait, you know, like 5 or 10 minutes for them to move, and then I could go in there and go that way. Throw my trash away there, and when I would go to Disneyland, I would just walk. Well, I would say 50% of the time, I would just walk to the park. Usually by walking out of that little garage area there and walking down Orangewood. And everyone always would drive pretty fast through here. It's just kind of par for the course. Thankfully there's a sidewalk. The Mickey and Friends parking structure is a pretty good ways from Disneyland and getting into DCA and the Esplanade and all that. And it really is not much farther from where my place was. If you know, back when the Disneyland did not have the trams for a while, for a long time they didn't have the trams running. You have to take that long walk of the former tram route. Now the trams are back. But really, in reality, it was not much farther to go get in my car, drive, park at Mickey and Friends, and walk all the way to DCA or Disneyland than it would have been for me to just walk from my home. So that's, a lot of times, I would just do that. Here's a general layout of the land here, the Anaheim Resort. So you got Orangewood here, which is where I was just walking down. And you got Convention Way, which I'm about to walk down. Then you got Harbor, well, which is where I'm standing on now. I'm on this corner. My place was over here on this corner. Well, you can kind of see it. It's like obscured by that shadow, but there's a road right there, right on that little corner overlooking the parking lot. And then DCA is right there. There's Catella, Harbor, Disney Way, Convention Way, and Anaheim Convention Center right over here. It looks like there's a fire truck over there. And an ambulance too. Now I get pretty nostalgic at places I used to live. I live in 3 places in California. I live in the city of Orange near the Orange Circle for a couple years. Then I went out on the road. I went in an RV, was traveling for about a year. Then I went back to Hollywood for 2017, 2019. And then 19 to late 21 was here in Anaheim. So 3 places I've had in Southern California. And I gotta say, as much as I love being here, I'm pretty happy and content with where I'm at right now. Having my place in Celebration and traveling. I can always still come out here. I definitely miss it, but I'm also really content, probably more content than I've ever been with a place that I've lived in a while. They are having a convention here today too. I did the math on it, and I pay half the rent living in Florida than I did in California, which basically means for 2 or 3 times a year, maybe even more than that, I could fly out, book hotels, and stay for like a week or so in SoCal, you know, 2 or 3 times a year, and be basically spending the same as if I was just living out here. This is still here. They built a tabletop on the top of this palm tree right here. Take a look at that. Palm trees everywhere. That one, which is like a little short one. They put a tabletop on it. I've always found this interesting how the opening date of the Anaheim Arena right next to Disneyland is the same date that Disneyland opened, only 12 years later. So it's July 17th, it's the opening day of Disneyland, which is 55, but this is 67. I don't know if that was on purpose or just a unusual coincidence. This building is new. This is not the 67 version, but this spaceship looking one is. If they ever remade It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, they could say that the treasure or the money was buried under a big A, not a big W. You know, A for Anaheim. Yeah, take a look. What's that noise? I don't know what that noise was. But look at the futuristic deal there. I always found it interesting. You can see DCA over here, and you can see the backside, not the backside of water, you see the backside of Radiator Springs Racer so clearly. Here in Anaheim, everything's just like Disneyland, just a series of blocks as opposed to Walt Disney World. If I were to continue walking away, so it would connect with the 5 freeway. You know, the 5 goes down to San Diego, goes up through LA, continues up into Northern California, Right up here, you know, I'm definitely, when it comes to the theme park coffee, I'm Team Joffrey's over Starbucks. I like Starbucks, but definitely like Joffrey's a little bit more. I like the mild flavoring. But sometimes I'll get a hot vanilla latte from both those places. And I gotta say, while they're both okay, they are lackluster in comparison. This is going off of memory. The coffee bean and tea leaf here, right here off Harbor and Catella, I remember having a really good version. So I'm gonna see if my memory, sometimes your memory remembers things that didn't really happen. So I'm gonna refresh my memory here. Get a piping hot caffeinated beverage of the latte persuasion. Give it a whirl. Oh yeah. I think that's the better of the three that I mentioned. That's good. Frothy, but not too much froth. I know sometimes places, when they make a latte, will have way too much froth, and you immediately know when you pick it up, you're like, there's no girthiness to this, there's no heaviness to this, and you know that it's made with too much foam. This is good. Yeah, I've never really looked it up or confirmed that this was, some say, the busiest 7-Eleven in the US, but it could be. You know, back in the heyday of this area. I mean, it's still pretty busy around here, but I don't know if it's the busiest. It's up for debate. This is the Anaheim Walk of Fame, or the Anaheim Star Block. I think it's called the Walk of Fame. But basically, these are prominent people from the town of Anaheim. Olympic diving gold medalists. I remember when they put these in. Look at this trolley. Oh, that's the Candy Cane Inn must be open. Dang, that was closed for a long time. The Candy Cane Inn trolley. I did like a whole hotel series around here after everything started to reopen in 2020, modified. Look at the Righteous Brothers were from here. But I didn't get to stay at the Candy Cane Inn. It was closed for a long time. These used to be right in front of Disneyland, and they moved them a block away over here in front of the former Hollywood Tower. You can see it through the trees there, Guardians. Gene Autry. The Yorba family. Possibly where Yorba Linda gets its name, most likely. Bruno Serrato. John Simone P.A. Henry Samueli, owner of the Anaheim Ducks. Oh, the founders of Carl Jr., Margaret and Carl Karcher. Carl's Jr. started here. A lot of fast food started in SoCal. And of course, appropriately, even though it's faded, weather worn. Yeah, look at that. It's almost like worn out. Walt Disney. The star used to be in front of the archway at Disneyland over there, but now it's here on the corner of Disney and Harbor. 1 block away. One of my favorite little taco eateries used to be right over here. Now it's called Anytime Hawaiian. But these tables here, I would sit and eat at Jim Boy's Tacos, which used to be right there where that Anytime Hawaiian used to be. Man, Jim Boy's was so good, I wish it wouldn't have closed. I could stop in Disneyland today if I wanted to. I do have an annual pass, but save that for another time frame. I do find it fascinating, though, that you can stand right here. If you waited long enough, you can see the monorail going right down Harbor. In fact, there's that old video of Walt where he like takes the worker's big wrench and he like tightens the bolt on one of the poles. One of those poles were right over there, right here off of Harbor. Also Friday, and just 2 days from right now, the 100th anniversary of the Disney Corporation kicks off right here at Disneyland. Met up with a couple of friends here as well. I got Deacon and Bricky over here. And you guys might not realize this, but we're going, well, I know you know we're going to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, but you might not know I got a little history with this place. Oh yeah? Because when I moved into my place in Anaheim, a block away from here, I was living in Hollywood. For 2 months I lived in Hollywood and here while I was moving stuff in, and my parents came to visit me, and I was like, I got a surprise for you. I took my parents down here from my Hollywood place, took them to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and then immediately took them over to my new apartment over just down the road, 2 blocks. So I got, you know, this is kind of like when I moved to Anaheim, this was kind of a celebratory meal here at Anaheim's version of Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. So yeah, that's what I think about every time I'm here. This is like kind of my move-in meal. Now this is just gonna be a regular meal, not moving into anything.
The question is this.
Yes.
Your parents are from the South.
They are.
They approve of the chicken.
My mom liked the chicken. She thought it was a little pricey. It's a little expensive for what you get, but I like it. And there's also one of these in Hollywood also over on Gower. And I've been at that one too, but I think I've been here more times. We ended up all getting our own meals. I got something a little bit different. I ended up getting the chicken breast. I also got the mac and cheese, which I really like from here. Cornbread, and also beside the cornbread, I got the greens. So mac and cheese, greens, chicken breast, and they ended up getting the Obama special because President Obama ate here once, and this is what he got. He got the chicken and waffles also. So they ended up getting the waffles. For some reason, I just never really cared for the waffles and chicken, even though it is called Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I always like to get the greens, and the mac and cheese is kind of like my go-to. But we all ended up getting our fill of chicken and waffles at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I always liked this place. And this is the first time I've been here. It wasn't really busy. I've been here in the past where there's just so many people, you gotta like wait a long time in line. But for one reason or another today, there's not really a whole heck of a lot of people here. We just kind of walked in, ordered the food, got the food really quick in the kitchen, and enjoyed it. And now we're gonna walk just down a couple blocks from Roscoe's. We're gonna walk over and get some Joe's Italian Ice. Speaking of food, there's this Taco Bell right here. There's another Taco Bell across from Disney. You know the Taco Bell across from Disneyland? So there's that convenience store, Taco Bell. That one's always busy. This Taco Bell, like half a mile from Disneyland, not even that far, never has anyone in the drive-thru at the end of the night. Because I used, you know, obviously I live behind this Taco Bell a block away, corner of Orangewood and Hayster, but over here, I would drive over here, I would just get a hankering from some tacos, which Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is right over there, and I would drive through this drive-thru, and there was never anyone in this drive-thru late at night.
But the one up there is always slammed.
Always busy.
Yeah. What's your order at Taco Bell?
Usually like the Nachos Bel Grande, and maybe like a double-decker taco supreme. And sometimes when they have the Mexican pizza. I like the Mexican pizza.
Back for a limited time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
I just had chicken. This place over here is now called Mr. Pho. They've always had pho, but they didn't, their name of the place was not Mr. Pho. Now it is California Kitchen. Now Joe's Italian Ice is so popular that at least when I was living here, there's nowhere to park. You can see this time of day, but after the park, you know, Disney closes, a lot of people come over here to get some Italian ice. So popular, in fact, that this restaurant would charge people to park in the lot.
Got to make it where you can.
Yeah, you would have to go pay to park because there was no parking over here. But I would just walk over here. This is like walking distance from my former homestead. We got to push the button?
No.
Maybe?
I never came to Joe's.
Have you ever eaten here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been here with you before.
Okay.
I used to never come because I always thought that the line was super long. I didn't realize that they have several windows.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, oh, no way, there's nowhere to park and the line's too long. It's the fastest line in town.
Yeah, it moves very fast.
You never wait longer than 5 minutes.
Oh, look, they still got the 6-foot distancing. Is that still a thing here in California?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. Went with a wild cherry gelati. I like the gelati because it has the little cream ice cream on the top. Is that ice cream on the top? Or what is sherbet?
It's custard.
Custard. Custard on the top, custard on the bottom, wild cherry in the middle. But I really like the theming through here. In fact, you got Andy Griffith and Barney Fife over here. Barney's asking, is this legal? And then he just replies, they sure are, Barney. We need these in Mayberry. Right there, Mayberry, the population, 1,109. But I always kind of like this, the theming through here. They have this old bicycle up top there. Look at this. That's right. I think it's supposed to be Ani. That's Arnold right there. I'll be back. Got the bees, a real beehive of activity up top there. This guy's going to show. This guy's going. Yeah, Fountain of Youth is right here.
There's a monorail?
Where?
Up high.
You see a monorail?
Yeah. Up.
Oh, look at that. That's the Disneyland monorail.
Think about how many things in this mural you've documented in your life.
Got an old neon right here. It says Joe's Photo Shop. Yeah, I have been to quite a few things up there. I've seen that right over there. There's the desert there with the cactuses and the windmills. There's Arizona, Tempe. You got Disneyland up top. You got the rocket up top. You got a bunch of people on little scooters.
You have a scooter?
I have a scooter.
You've done Route 66?
I have.
You've done Mayberry locations. You even, where did you go? You went to Mayberry?
I've been to Mount Airy, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Fountain of Youth here. But look at this. This is like an old guy, and he's making his way down here, and then he becomes an infant.
Wow.
Just by eating at Joe's. Look at that. I've been looking at the mural so much I haven't even taken a bite of this. Trust me, it's good. I've been to this a lot of times. There's an alarm going off. Highly recommend this place. It's tasty. All right, I'm gonna put this down if I eat this. I'm noticing over here at this Walgreens on the corner, they have some artwork of the original convention center. Right here on the corner of Catella and Harbor. It was just over there. I never noticed that. You know that futuristic looking dome thing over there that used to be the original convention center? It opened on July 17th of 67.
67.
Right.
12 years after Disney.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
For bizarre coincidence or intentional, you decide.
Also, Beans was here. There's the Walt Disney Theater.
Yeah.
Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. That is the Hollywood Bowl. Yeah. That's the Hollywood hot air balloon.
Yeah, we know that one.
I noticed this walking in here, Brookie.
Yeah.
Did you realize there are two relics of the past, nostalgia, from Americana back tucked away over against this wall? Did you ever realize this was over here in this parking lot?
Oh, those phone booths?
Yes.
Wow.
I started my intro here earlier.
Think about how many kids use those phone booths and tell their mom, yo, I'm done, come pick me up.
Yeah. Also, Clark Kent used these quite a bit, turning into Superman. This is amazing. When I was walking out of here, I was like, does anyone even know these are here?
Isn't it weird that phone booths still exist, but they've just taken all the phones out?
I call these skeletons.
Yeah.
Phone booth skeletons. What did this building used to be? How am I having trouble saying that? Skeletons. It's weird when you analyze it.
Skeletons.
Yeah. But these are like pushed in the ground, like they're concreted in.
Yeah, no, they're here.
So they were here. This is the permanent spot they were at.
Yeah.
So I wonder what this building was.
This was the first building that they built when they started Disneyland.
Not true.
Not true at all.
100% not. Oh, is that building around the backside, over across from the Majestic Hotel on Ball? Is that still there?
Yeah.
What's the
like the cabin or
yeah.
whatever that they moved over
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Yeah, that still sits there.
Yeah. Dude,
All
there's
right.
Mr. Toad right here. Look at this. What the heck? Oh, I forgot Mr. Toad is still in Anaheim.
But why is he advertising?
I got so excited. Why is he at DCA?
Yeah, why is he advertising DCA?
That's weird. This is over here where I parked near the Bullseye parking lot, right here. Yeah. Earlier this morning when I parked, or whenever I got here, it wasn't this morning, it was like early, pre-noon, but it was like, you know, a little earlier in the morning. Parked me over here. Now the sun's about to go down.
I like that the Toad sticker just literally reminded you that you're not at Magic Kingdom anymore.
I seriously thought I was in Florida and I thought Toad was like extinct.
You're full on become Orlando guy.
Last time I was here, Paradise Pier Hotel had just taken their signage down. What's this going to be called now?
It's going to be the Pixar Pier.
The Pixar Pier Hotel. Nice. And the whole thing is shut down. And it has this... So the sign they took down was over here.
Yeah.
What kind of theme is it going to be? It's going to be complete Pixar theme.
All Pixar. Pixar characters, Pixar theme, Pixar colors. But if you look over there where they do the service entrances, there's one last old Sunwheel sign, sun that's left.
Oh, really?
See it right there where it says no entry?
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, one last Sunwheel.
The lap Sunwheel. Right there. Nightfall is about to rear its head. Sun is setting there over the freeway. Down behind the freeway, see the traffic going by, pretty good angle. Palm trees, SoCal sun drifting over the horizon. That's gonna do it for today. Just kind of some memories, my not too distant past. I was in that neighborhood, just felt like going by those spots. Again, pretty thankful for my life now, where I'm living now. But I always have a lot of nostalgia for every place, all the places that I've lived. Went by a couple of my little stomping ground areas too. Walked down Harbor, went by the convention center, had a little coffee, had a little Joe's Italian Ice, and Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Well, I didn't have waffles. My friends had waffles. I had the chicken and other assorted sides. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is